Hi, this is Prac with iRepairMD. Today, I'm going to show you guys how to, with my bonding liquid, how to replace the iPod 5th generation glass-only repair. As you can see here, this iPod, the criteria is that the digitizer and the LCD has still to work, and all you need to do is replace the glass. And it's not a difficult fix if you are technically inclined, and I have a kit online on my eBay for $35, and what you're going to get is UV bonding liquid. And this is my newest product right here. It's called UVX curing, and this is the orange glow of adhesive remover. And what you're going to get also is black or white or different color glass for the iPod. And so what we're going to do now is show you what you'll need to actually do this repair. First thing you need to do is power down the iPod. Okay. And what you would need is a heat gun. So this one here, I got this from Radio Shack, and it produced just enough heat to actually loosen the glass. It's about $30, Radio Shack. You need just a typical razor. Get this from any hardware store. And to redo the frame on the side, I use my Loctite glue right here. Okay, this is Loctite all-purpose go-to glue, which is really reasonable. And you can get these clips to clip the frames in. I'll show you how that works later. You can get 80 of these in Dollar Tree for $1. And so we can go ahead and actually start the repair. First thing you need to do is, because you just can't lift the glass off from this. If you try to find your way to remove the glass off this, you're going to end up damaging the LCD. This iPad 5th generation is actually designed, iPod 5th generation, designed a little different. So this process here is showing you how to actually remove it. So go ahead and use the heat gun, and we're going to work from the top all the way down. Add enough heat here. Alright, so it feels like street asphalt on a hot summer day, high noon. It's about 100 and maybe 130 degrees. Strong enough to loosen up the glue that's bonding this. Alright. So now with a razor blade, I'm going to go ahead and actually start removing the glass out from here. And there's no other way to do this without breaking it. This is the only sure way to do it without breaking the LCD, and I find it pretty easy to work with though. When you're doing this, you definitely want to have a tray nearby to get all the glass pieces off. Alright. And if you guys are interested in actually wanting us to do the repair, we can definitely do it for you. As of January 2014, to a new replacement LCD for an iPod 5th generation Touch goes for up to $180, and that's just the display itself. You go to a repair shop, they're probably going to charge about $240, $250. And with my $30 kit, you should be able to do it yourself. All it's just needed is a few additional equipment. Adding more heat right here. Okay. Alright. Just stick the razor underneath the glass, lift it slowly. Alright. Okay. Be really careful around the camera area when you use the razor. Just lift it enough. And you don't want to add pressure here in this area because that would definitely break the LCD. You want to make sure you stay away from it. And if this offered resistance, what you need to do is actually add a little bit more heat. Okay. But now that you have this area exposed, you want to add heat to just this area right here. Angle the nozzle that way. Okay. Alright, so now go ahead and there you go, you got most of it off. And this is the forward facing camera. Right now I'm going to go tackle the bottom half. Be really careful right here. This is actually a plastic button, so you don't want to add heat here. It might warp the button. So you add heat just around the edges. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and actually lift this off. Just like this. Alright, you can see I'm actually picking up some part of the screen. Be really careful, you don't want to get the razor across here. Just want, all you're trying to do is remove the LCD. Alright, so now go ahead and start picking this off. Okay. Alright, a little heat here. Mix up the glue. Sticking my razor in. Right here. Picking it off. Alright. Alright. I don't wear gloves because it's hard to feel the glass. Alright, so now getting to most of the leftover piece of glass, removing this off. Okay, now what we're going to is actually removing it from the edge now. So we're going to add some light heat here. Okay. Just carefully pick this off. Make sure you don't use your razor blade to scratch the LCD. What we're doing is actually freeing up the frame. So I'm targeting these areas on the side so I can lift the LCD without damaging the LCD and the frame. Alright. Alright, so removing all this broken shard from the side so I can lift the LCD. Alright. Removing this here. Be very careful. I'm touching the edge of the frame and not into the LCD. And I'm lifting it up, putting a blade and then just angling it, wedging it out. Glass shot. So I got one side out. Now I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on this side. Add some heat. Alright. Just enough heat. Go ahead and concentrate on this side here. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Just expose all these side frames, the LCD off. I'm going to try to lift one side right here. Okay. Alright, let's lift this one. Alright. Alright, so now what we're going to do is actually lift this LCD. There's a way to do it. It's a safe way to do it. Now that you have the glass kind of removed, you can actually push the frame in a little bit. Okay, and there's a frame piece right here. As you can see, I'm going on around the edge now with my razor to lift the frame up. Actually, you lift it from the bottom. You don't want to lift it from the top. Okay, so now releasing it from the frame. Okay. Now I'm lifting it up. Okay.
He was always happy to see you in the morning. Maybe because he was alone, maybe because he was hungry, maybe because he just wanted you. Who knows what's going on in his head?
Alright, so you want to find a wedge. There's a lock right here. Release the lock. Alright. That's the tricky thing, is to actually release the lock. There you know. Now you have to this side release, go to this side, and just push it forward to release the lock. There you go. Alright, I'm going to try to release the lock. There's a clip right here. Okay, so now what you want to do is go in and remove the frame from this side. There's a little clip that's holding this and the frame together. So what you do is release it. So here's how you release it. You stick your razor in, release the frame. There's a clip right over here. There should be 3 clips in each section. So this clip here is going to hold on to this one. Go ahead and free it. Alright, so this clip is free. Now let me go ahead and actually
like to think that, but I don't know if that's the truth. I had been there a while, and I had seen a few other things along the way that made me question why I was there and what we were doing with these animals.
Alright, so I'm going to have to remove this glass right here since it's a little hard to take out. Got a little heat. Okay, so now
I know it was naive of me, but I thought that
I'm going to go ahead and put my razor
our responsibility to do as much as we could
on the edge right here.
together, since we knew that in the wild that's what happens.
Pick it up.
Kalina was the first baby shampoo. She had become quite disruptive and challenging her mom a little bit and disrupting some shows and that kind of thing.
Alright, so now we have this frame removed. What we're going to do is take all the screws out. Okay. So I'm going to get a regular screwdriver and one of these pill bottles right here. Go ahead and put the home button in here. And screws also taken out. Alright. Take this screw out. Alright. So you're going to do is remove all these screws. Alright, so now you have all the screws taken out. You go ahead and remove the clips, and what you do is you pull the wedges up right here, and be really careful. There's a spot right here that you have to pay attention to, and it's this right here. This is the home button. If you rip it, you won't be able to replace it because it's actually soldered onto the logic board, and it's really hard to resolder on if you have a new replacement. So what you want to do is remove it carefully. Be very careful about removing this one. Alright, so now go ahead and lift it through. There you go. Alright. Close this. Go ahead and open the second set. Alright, so now what we're going to do is take this screw, and this screw, okay? Okay, this screw, this screw, and this screw. Okay, so now what you want to do is carefully lift this up right here, okay? And how you get to that is, see this, just go ahead and bend this right here. That's the flex cable for the digitizer. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and start picking this up right here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just remove this frame also out here. Alright. I'm going to bring the forward camera. Okay, free the camera. Okay. So we can go ahead and start lifting this up. Alright, so see right here, you're lifting this up. Lifting this. Okay. So now this is the power cord right here. Power button cord. Let's go ahead and disengage. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and free the home. Alright. Let me go ahead and use one of these non-metallic clip removers. So go ahead and remove the flex cable connector from the top, and then also, alright, what we need to do now is also free the antenna. Wi-Fi antenna is what holding it back, so go ahead, just push it back. Now you free it. Go ahead and unfold this. Okay, and this little clip right here. Be very careful not to touch any chips. Just go ahead and flick this off. There you go. And this is the, right here is the front camera. Okay, so now you got LCD off. What you need to do is to remove the LCD from the frame. We'll save the frame to reuse again. Okay, so now you have the glass completely removed. Just make sure now, let me zoom in, that you get to all the small pieces too. Make sure all small pieces are removed, because when you use the liquid and a toothbrush, what you want to do is not have the excess glass or leftover glass that will scratch the surface of the LCD. So I'm going to go ahead and actually remove all the glass. And that's another reason why not to have gloves, so you can feel the glass.
A tourist at an earlier show said the animal seemed agitated. Trainers complained the whales weren't cooperating.
All right. Okay, so before we do the liquid, make sure we remove the backlight. I'll show you how to do that again. Okay, so behind, just go ahead and peel off this right here. Okay, pick up slowly the backlight. Okay, so now you have the backlight removed. Let's go ahead and desolder this part right here. So go ahead and scrape, expose the connector. We can go ahead and take the solder off. Okay, so the solder's off. And one thing you have to be sure is not to touch this area right here. So what you need is to get a CD tray. CD jewel box, place this in, close it, put it in a place where you need it again. Now you have this exposed. What we're going to do is tape. Using masking tape, we go ahead and tape this off. This is painter's tape, by the way. Protect the back glass, the mirror finish from scratching, or from being scratched. And now and go ahead, flip it over here, go ahead and cut the excess tape off. Okay. Alright, so now what you're going to need is the orange glow. Okay. And a toothpick, a toothbrush, and a microfiber cloth. Okay, so now feeling that all the glass is gone, physically examining it. Alright. Alright, so now we can go ahead and actually use this. So we're going to break the seal, break the UV seal there, and we can go ahead and alright, so about halfway right there. I'm going to go ahead. Okay, so now orange glow is being distributed by this toothbrush. I'm lightly brushing it around. I'm using heat to help activate the glue. So what you need is a heat gun. Let it sit there for a couple of seconds and then go ahead and heat gun it. Okay. Using the axis heat to help activate the glue. Now I'm using this, scraping it off. Alright, so getting the top layer off. Now what we're going to do is put the remainder of the liquid onto here. Okay. Okay, add a little more heat. Okay, using the brush, you can see I'm scraping now, doing a circular motion, getting all the liquid off. Not the liquid, but the glue, previous adhesive off. Okay. Okay, so now use this cloth, microfiber cloth, to actually do the final rubbing.
to sugarcoat it by saying he comes out from every once in a while. Now he's doing shows. You know what he does in the show? He does a few hours, and he goes back in his little jail cell. It's his life.
Alright. I'm using this right here to actually microfiber cloth, just rubbing off any excess right here. And now you have most of it off. I'm gonna use a little Windex. Okay, so now go ahead and clean off all the excess glue. Alright, what we need to do now is get rid of the orange glow, okay? So what you'll need is to use 99.9% alcohol. And this is like, you can use rubbing alcohol if you like. And so what we do is with alcohol, we're going to go ahead and clean the surface off of all the glue, not glue and orange glow, prepping the area for bonding, for liquid bonding. Okay, so now the area is nice and prepped, clean of all other residue. I'll go ahead and get one of these bubble wrap, place it on top like so. Alright, now what I'm doing is doing a little blocking area to prevent the liquid from going in and corroding the rest of the connector, because when the areas that's not cured, it will be corrosive. So what we do is use this tape right here to go ahead and block this area right here, prevent any liquid runoff. And now, as you can see, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Alright, using tape here. So this area is good for curing. Move it aside. I'm going to go ahead and bring the glass over. Okay, so now you got this glass as part of the kit. Go ahead and open the, peel off the back side right here. And what you do now is using clear Scotch tape. We're going to tape out or mask the area. Okay, that we want, and we're masking, we're preventing the liquid from running off onto the non-display area of the glass, so we can easily mount it and keep it nice and clean. Okay, going halfway between the frame right here, like so. Okay, now you can go ahead and prep the area. So with the glass here, I'm going to have a slight razor so I can lift, put an area where I can lift the plastic protective sheet so I can actually see the bubble area more. Just prepping the space right here like that. Now what we need to do is actually prep this area here for UV bonding, so cleaning the surface off all over. Now this is what I like to use to do. I have this in my kit. This is my UV gun laser. What it does is it cures, it spot cures the UVX liquid. So go ahead, use the UVX liquid right here. I'd like to do a T formation. And just go ahead and run it all the way down right here. Okay. And turn the light so I can see. Okay, I'm going to lower the bonding. Like I have here. Okay. Working out the bubbles. I'm going to go ahead and actually pick up surface. Okay, so now I can actually see the surface. I'm going to pick this up and I'll work out the bubbles. Also framing it at the same time. Framing it is tricky, but you can actually see a slight difference in the black shade, and that is about maybe 1/8 of an inch, and you want to just make sure that 1/8 of an inch is all around all corners of the LCD, and that way you can ensure perfect framing of this display. Okay, we'll run this down right here, pushing out all excess liquid, and I can actually see the frame that I want. Right here. And make sure the frame is in all corners. Alright. Once I get it to where I want, I'm going to use my UV glue laser, my curing laser, to keep it in place. Okay, so I know this corner is right, this corner is right. Okay, my UV laser is holding it in place. Now I'll take this corner here. Doing pretty much the same thing, using my UV laser to hold it from slipping. Okay, so now my UV laser is actually curing it, and all the bubbles are gone. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it into the UV chamber. This is my UV chamber, and I use the Icona brand. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Set the timer for 5 minutes and put my display in here. I'm letting it cure for 5 minutes, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so now we got this already cured. Okay, and so we're going to go ahead and put it back. Okay, this is straight from the curing chamber. So what you want to do now is actually remove excess glue. So what we're going to do is peel this off carefully. Alright. We're going to go ahead. So razor here. Alright. All this off. Alright, so now very careful with these areas here. Go ahead and peel this off. Alright. We're going to remove the masking tape. Blocks this. This process will work for iPhone 5C, 5S, and pretty much all the iPhones since the 3 series. Alright, so now be very careful when you peel this off. What you don't want to damage is the flex cable here. So what we want to do is clean the residue off. And I'm going to use alcohol. I'm using 99.9% alcohol and a Q-tip just to clean the connectors off. Okay, and now I'm cleaning all the excess glue that might be stuck in here. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm pulling this slowly. First I fold this in first, protecting the connector. Okay. I'm going to add a little heat actually. Loosen this up. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is remove blue tape. I'm going to pull it to the side like this. Pulling it gently. Okay, you don't want to damage the LCD portion of this. Gently pull it out. Alright. With that removed, I'm going to go ahead and pull the tape off that we mask. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my laser and cure this area here to make sure that the glue doesn't run. Just running at about maybe 10 seconds or so, back and forth, and that should be it. Q-tip, clean the connector here. Alright, so now I'm using a microfiber cloth. So microfiber cloth now with alcohol. I'm going to go ahead and clean the mirror finish here. Okay. All right. Cleaning all this off. All right. Using a little squeegee just to get rid of the excess off. And now a dry microfiber cloth. Run it circular motion.
In less than 2 minutes, 6 million people are left without power.
Just cleaning the mirror finish. Get it to a mirror shine.
Recently, NASA's Jim Green finds evidence that in
Small little smudges won't really bother with this, as long as you don't get streaks.
Big
Okay.
concern is the electric power. The massive
Get that all done.
from a CME radio
As you can see right here, mirror finish is good. So now we're going to resolder
blocking
back the backlight.
under cities.
So putting the backlight in here, getting rid of any excess
Years for a full recovery.
dust that could have been trapped here.
Imagine a world without electricity. You're really going back in time.
Alright, so
Just the power grid.
dusting it off lightly.
More and more we rely on.
Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead. Alright, so now what we do is going to go ahead and actually solder the backlight back on, lining it up. Okay. So these connectors here, go ahead. I don't even need to use flux because it's a fairly simple solder.
It's over 25 times the diameter of Earth.
Okay.
This is the powerhouse of our star. Everything we experience on Earth, sunlight, heat, and the effects of solar
Good.
storms,
Heat it up. Run it in here. Just making sure every connector is bonding right.
So what's it like here? What's the core made of?
Alright. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and test this to make sure everything works. So I'm going to go ahead
Well, not really.
and
It is this gaseous soup of charged
place it right.
that we call plasma.
Place the connector back in.
You're more familiar with this soup than you might think.
There are plenty of examples. Fluorescent light bulbs, flames, neon lights, perhaps fancy TVs that I can't afford. But these are all plasma. Plasma sort of all around.
Alright.
But plasma is radically hotter at the sun's core.
So what we're going to do now.
Thing on Earth is light.
Alright, so close this out. Connect this in. Right here.
During thunderstorms, electric charges build up, creating lightning bolts that reach tens of thousands of degrees.
That's pretty hot, but it's nowhere near as hot as the core of the sun. So if you're to travel to the core of the sun, the plasma would be 15.
Alright, let's go ahead and test this. Hit the home button here.
The sun formed. Hydrogen
Alright, as you can see,
was crushed under the weight of the material.
perfectly working. Awesome frame, and as you can see, everything works. Touch, beautiful.
Pressure rose so high.
Alright, so now all we have to do is put the frame back on, and I'll show you how to use that glue for the frame. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and disengage this.
Something really, really cool happens.
Alright,
Clear fusion.
take out the LCD and connector.
The same atomic process inside the hydrogen bomb. Under tremendous pressure, photons
Alright,
fuse together, releasing photons,
so we can go ahead and use the frame
packets of heat and light.
that we took out earlier.
Unimaginable number of photons remain temperature and crowded rooms.
Alright, so now we can go ahead and put the frame on. Make sure you clean the glass and glue from all the edge of the frame. And we can go ahead and use
Takes you a long time
the
placing the room,
Loctite glue.
meandering your way around the room.
Okay, it's go-to glue. I find it to be really
All we want to do is
the best bonding one, and it has it's a more runny silicone seal that you can manage around. So what I'm doing now is using
1,000 miles
this glue and running it,
over 100,000.
okay, around the edge here.
Eventually, the photons reach a boundary where pressures
Okay,
rise. The plasma thins, and moving through it gets easier.
alright, so now you got this all around the frame.
Photons still pack
But what you want to do is actually lightly with a cloth is kind of wipe off any excess. There you go. The edge. So you just want a little bit, enough to actually adhere, but you don't want a big mess on you. I should frame it. So there you go. I got a light amount of glue. Okay, well, with the orientation correct, I'm going to go ahead and glue it on here and adjust what I need to adjust. There you go.
Heat enters at the bottom from the light bulb. It heats the material and the blob rises to the surface. When it gets to the top,
Okay, so
it cools off.
what we're going to do is actually put the clips onto like this on each corner.
This is a good analogy for what's happening inside the sun.
Each corner has a clip
Before the sun, heating the material at the bottom of the tray,
like that.
the material expands and it carries the energy upward
Okay,
until it gets to the surface.
and then let it sit there, surface like this, for about 2 or 3 hours. Then you're good for curing. Okay. All right. So now it's been about 2 hours. So go ahead and what you want to do is actually just clean up this button a little bit on the back right here, and let's go ahead and test out. Well, I'll show you how to do that a little later. Just test the screen out. As you can see, everything is perfect, and we're going to go ahead and actually put the iPod together. Everything else is fairly simple. So thank you for watching iRepairMD, and don't forget to subscribe. Next week we're going to do the Galaxy Note 2. This is Practical iRepairMD. Safe repair.